From my childhood days, I have learned, or I have been taught, that children are a reflection of their parents, and it's through the children's eyes parents can see themselves, and parents have these expectations from their children that children are expected to satisfy as they grow bigger. So this is what I learned during my childhood. And so when I became pregnant, I didn't go through any parenting books. I didn't see any parenting webinars or videos to understand what the parenting journey should be, because I knew that whatever my parents did for me was right, and that is the expected journey for my child as well. And when my child came, I did exactly that. There was again no parenting guide, no modern parenting concepts or anything that I learned. I just tried to bring up my child. For the first 3 or 4 years, I brought her up exactly the way I was brought up. I tried to mold her to be a perfectionist, to do everything in the right way, to never do things in a wrong way, and create a mold of that perfect being, that fantasy child that every parent wants. When she was 4 years old, that was when she was supposed to start school, and that was when the pandemic set in. I enrolled her for an online reading class. So what I tried to do at the tender age of 4, I was thrusting on her the responsibility to start reading, because 4 years old, according to me at that time, was the time that every child should start reading, or at least that's what the social media was telling me at that time. So when I enrolled her for the online class, and she sat through the first 1 hour, I was observing her, and I saw this light from her face suddenly go off. I saw something go off, but I couldn't understand what it was. She was very sad, she was scared, she was anxious. There were a lot of emotions that were going on her face, which I couldn't make out. I knew at that instant that I needed help, that she needs help, right? So there was something wrong with her. That was my diagnosis. Something is wrong with her, and she needs to be fixed. And so I was very fortunate to be surrounded by a lot of people, positive parents, to whom I could share my experiences, who wouldn't tell me that, the conventional parent would tell you that this is what every child goes through, so she'll go through it. But something inside me told me that this needs to be looked upon. Someone needs to tell me what's going on. And then I met a counselor, I met a mental health expert, who told me within the first hour that I spoke to her, that it is not the child that needs to be fixed, it is the mother that needs to be fixed. So she explained to me, and through the conversation I understood. I gained an understanding that it was my anxiety and all the unwanted expectations that were thrust into me as a child that I was transferring onto her. And I was trying to make my child like me. What I didn't realize was that she is not me, right? She is a different child. She is different and I am different. She is unique and she is her. And I should never mold my child to meet my expectations. So from there on, I started counseling. I started counseling for me. I took all the necessary steps, and even today I am regularly meeting my mental health expert to overcome my anxiety, to open up, and that has actually automatically brought about a lot of changes in my child. She has become more open. She has become less anxious. It's easier for her to change because she's only like 6 years old now, but for me it is more difficult to change because I am so old now. But anyhow, this has been a big challenge for me. It has been an awakening for me, and I'm still continuing. I'm still taking up this challenge and moving on, and it has brought about reducing my anxiety has not only brought about a lot of positive changes in my life, it has also brought about a lot of positivity in my daughter's life as well. I learned all the experiences that I had, and all the things that I learned. I gained that knowledge only when my daughter was 4 years old. But I strongly feel that we should start doing this right from childbirth. So right from childbirth, parents should be aware that your child is not your clone. Your child is different. You should not impose your ego on your child, but instead you should always, right from the childbirth, you should try to bring up the child. You should always bring up the child in such a way that the child's authentic self comes out of him or her. Otherwise, eventually what would happen is the child would grow up trying to meet our expectations, and eventually at some point in their lifetime, they might even not realize who they are, and they might forget, they might not know how to connect back to the authentic self of theirs. So this is what I feel from my experiences, that we should always detach our child from ourselves and let them grow, let them thrive, give them the resources, give them the guidelines, give them the tools, but don't impose yourselves on them, because they are different and they are unique.